Welcome to Sports Life Talk.
Hey,
Cause this is Sports Life Talk.
hey,
You
hey.
rock it with Sports Life Talk.
Life Talk.
Hot topics with Sports Life Talk.
Come on.
So come and get you some Sports Life Talk.
Life.
They let us in the game, now we calling the shots. Things will never be the same, so
Yeah.
forget what you thought. Cause life without sports ain't nothing but talk. Here we go now, finally a show that makes your heart pound. Profound, wonder what's running up through your thoughts now. About to drown all podcasts that be watered down. Tell them clowns it's a new era, and it's starting now. 5 total strangers, the 5 Power Rangers, approaching Sports Life Talk from 5 different angles. Get ready for the change up. We done turned the flame up. The topics that we bring up, we about to blow this thing up. Yeah, let's get it cracking. KT the head coach and Miss Manhattan. Gemini Jones holds the throne, she be calling them out. Mr. United Surgeon B. Jones, the mouth of the South. From the cover athletes to the Yeet of the week, we got what you need. We dropping what's hot in the streets, from copping new sneaks to locals popping, doing big things. From gossip and tea, let Kimberly pour you a dream. Sports Life Talk, who is them? Went from not listening and now you're tuning in. If you're feeling what you're hearing, tell a friend, tell a friend. Thank you for listening, let the show begin. Sports Life Talk, who is them? Went from not listening and now you're tuning in. If you're feeling what you're hearing, tell a friend, tell a friend. Thank you for listening, now let the show begin.
Let's go.
Oh my gosh.
Let me tell y'all something. When I see that 9-8, I'll be like,
Hey, Kev put that in strategically for you, so you can know, like, hey, Pam, you gotta get
Man.
ready.
I start chewing like when you first put the food in your mouth and it's too high. You. Welcome to another episode of Sports Life Talk, where life without sports is just talk. It is Wednesday, May 19th, and it is 4 Power Rangers on this show tonight. We are down 1. So let me go ahead and do some introductions. Of course, can't have a show without my boy B. Jones, Mr. Mouth of the South, Mr. Yeet.
Level up. Let's go.
And beneath me, as usual, again, is the head coach, KT.
I think you like that, but yeah, how you?
Mr. Oak Cliff. No,
Oh,
Mr.
hey,
Cedar
hey.
Hill.
What?
Mr. Cedar Hill, Mr. What are you?
I'm from Oakland.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Oakland.
you were right. Yeah.
He hard. He hard though.
No Jose Rose today, huh?
Right, you just back to being KT, huh?
Nah, let it ride. Let it ride. That man biting it anyway.
Those kids be working him out, man. He's tired.
It's a whole nother grown man out there that we interviewed named Jose Copeland. He can't take no other grown man name.
You happy?
And of course, we have Mr. United Surge, who is today at Brussels Sprout Wilson. I like that. I like that.
Yes, ma'am. Back in the building. Let's do it.
And I am, of course, your host, Gemini Jones, aka Jimmy, aka the girl that loves to eat, because I was killing that chips and salsa before we came on.
Every show.
Yeah.
Can't miss a beat.
Last week it was cucumbers.
Hey, at 8 o'clock, the food stops. 8 to 9 is the drinks.
Yeah, that's right. You get that starch in your stomach for the drinks, right?
Exactly. All right, y'all. This is episode 94, entitled The Intimidator. And the cover athlete is none other than Charles Haley. So, KT, take it away.
All right, Jimmy. Charles Haley was on 5 Super Bowl championship teams, winning 2 with the San Francisco 49ers and 3 with the Dallas Cowboys. Over his 13-year career, the defensive end was named to Pro Bowls 5 times, tallying 100.5 sacks and twice garnering All-Pro honors. Haley was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame and Dallas Cowboy Ring of Honor in 2011. Now, I meant to say garnering. I don't know what the hell just happened, but there we
It's
go.
all good. Edit it out.
Haley is our cover athlete of the week.
All right. B. Jones, I just know you have some amazing Cowboys Charles Haley trivia for us this week. So please try to break that down and tell me what that is.
Well, this is a reward to those who have been watching the show and rocking with us and over some time. So I guess if you haven't been watching the show and you're a first-time viewer, thank you for rocking with us for the first time. We sincerely appreciate it. We're doing our best to get out there on the streets and keep the movement going, but you can still do some digging around. This question ain't too hard. For some odd reason, my partner in crime here, Kevin, has figured out a way to introduce over 6 former Cowboy players as cover athletes. And without that, I want you to give me the name of the previous Cowboys who graced the face of the show and were our cover athletes. That's the question of the week. Go to our website, www.sportslifetalk.com. Be the first one to tell me the names of all of the previous Cowboys that will cover athletes, which is a long list because Kevin, he sucks up to the Cowboys. Then you will win a Sports Life Talk t-shirt.
I mean, there's no legendary 94s for the Saints that I can think of, or the Colts. So Charles Haley.
Whoa.
How about just legendary for the world? I'm pretty sure we could have found some other 94.
I mean, Cam Jordan is 94.
He's not legendary.
We could have recognized a boxing legend. We could have recognized a golfer.
So
I graduated in 94.
Michael Phelps won gold in 94. I'm sure 2004.
So Charles Haley is a legend in the game that you love, B. Jones. So stop playing.
Man, I think the fans getting Cowboy fatigue, Kev. That's all I'm saying. It'd have been different if it was 94 for them Tigers. Dude, LSU, then we could have had a different conversation.
I love the fans. But I love the Dallas Cowboys too, so deal with it.
Ooh.
And on that note, B. Jones, I just want to say your lighting got you just glowing over there. What you using on your skin? That good old coconut oil? What's going on over there? You shining.
That's baby taking care of me, man. You know, she putting hair and makeup, you know, she put that regimen on me. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Exfoliation.
I'm gonna come over there and get my hair.
Regimen, is that code word for something else that she put on you?
Some of that cocoa butter? Oh, hello.
I need a chip.
See, Ken, that's why we couldn't put this on LinkedIn, man. You know.
Okay, let's get back.
Never mind. Forget I said anything. I ain't coming over there for hair and makeup. All right. It is time for our urban, not average, local athlete of the week, and
Pam.
Yeah, it's the you got next.
When was the last time that we did that? What? Yes, drink.
Yeah.
Man, you over there looking like somebody auntie drinking in the corner at the family reunion.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to them though.
Yeah, shout out to urban, not average.
Yes.
They cool people.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back on too. I want to do another show with her.
Okay, awesome. But so
the
we doing the you got next athlete.
There you go.
Oh, okay, my bad.
And it goes out to Tim Whitfield, aka Zeke, because when you watch the show, he has the whole Zeke vibe going on. So yes, that's another Cowboy reference, B. Jones. You want to reprimand me for that?
Nah. It's your world, dog. I'm just a squirrel.
So he plays for the West Texas Warbirds, right? Am I right?
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, so seriously, y'all go check out his show whenever it releases. It'll be probably in a couple of weeks, but hey, he has a really interesting story where he had to overcome his own fears and people doubting him and downing him. So
he was overweight. He grew up a chubby kid.
Well, I mean,
it's a great story.
That was a tease, so they could have went.
Oh, okay. Oh.
But he was battling, but yeah, he was overweight and people picked on him for that. But you should see him now. So go check him out.
Great story.
You got next athlete of the week, Tim Whitfield.
All right. And does anyone have a local business they would like to shout out this week?
I would have said.
How about we shout out another podcast? How about we do that? Anybody been listening to some good podcasts lately that they want to show some love to? Yeah, tell us about that, Pam.
I listened to one this morning. Now, let me be clear. Outside of ours, I'm not really a podcast listener. The only reason why is because I never sit down long enough, or I'm never in the car long enough to actually, my trips are usually 15, 20-minute trips or whatever. But this morning I was getting ready and I felt something in my spirit to listen to a girl that I follow on Instagram. She was a guest on a show called In Their Closet. And it was really good. She was talking about she had prayed for this man, and they got married, and then all of a sudden she found out he was cheating, and it wasn't necessarily about that. It was just about the lessons and things that you learn in going through things about yourself, about how you handle relationships and things like that. So shout out to In Their Closet. You can find her on Instagram, and there is how you supposed to spell it, THEIR, Their Closet.
I think she would have been proud of that endorsement, Pam. That was awesome.
That was a hell of a job, Pam. You don't do that too often, but that was great. I've been too nice the past couple of weeks. I got to turn it up.
Yeah, you got to come back to reality, bro.
All right, so it is time for the toast. So since KD is not here, I guess I will take over the toast because I'm the only one drinking. So I know KD put this drink on here, and it's called the 75 Mex. I'm going to give my own drink of the week. This was happening with you ain't here, KD. So this is called the Pamarita. Okay, that's what I'm going to call it. Pamarita. No, I'm sorry, the Gemarita. Y'all can't know my government name. This is the Gemarita.
Yeah, Pam.
So I put in this. I did the tequila. I did the Milagro.
Yeah.
The Reposado. Yeah, the Reposado, the brown one I had last week. I did some sweet and sour. I did a little orange juice, and I did a little lime juice. And this is my Gemarita. I think that's all I put in it.
I would say, what else did you put in it?
Yeah, everything else was little, and a lot of Milagro.
Well, you know, I had to.
So, Serge, we give her about 5 minutes before she turned up for real or asleep. But let's go.
I thought that was 5 minutes ago, bro.
No.
Hey, y'all leave me alone. The chips and salsa are helping absorb the liquor. All right, so the toast of the week. This toast goes to, and we, I cannot. So we have shouted out this woman before. I think she is an amazingly strong woman. I cannot see myself in her. I cannot imagine being in her shoes. But this week's toast goes to Vanessa Bryant. Of course, you know, with the passing of Kobe and Gigi throughout this crazy pandemic, she was able to take the stage and deliver a speech without a tear for the Hall of Fame induction on Kobe on his behalf. And she did him justice with her words, her presence, her strength, her dress. It was just so amazing. So shout out to Mrs. Bryant, and also to, was it Natalia? Was there with her? Yeah. And I found out an interesting story. Did y'all know of the prom story?
Mm-mm.
So her prom was actually that same night. And so Vanessa said that she, back when they were in high school, Kobe had a game the night of their prom. And so she was not able to go. And so she said that she made a joke to Natalia that, you know, your daddy is, keeping you from going to prom too. So, because the induction ceremony was the same night as her prom, but she was able to, so she was able to catch a flight though. And she still ended up going to the prom. So I guess she just gave the speech and then they left afterwards.
That's how money do though, ain't it? Money makes stuff happen.
Exactly.
Hey, before we go on, shout out to Katie. Damn it, he just checked out the one that we posted today of the You Got Next series from the volleyball player from UT Austin. Now she's playing professional overseas for RC Canes, right? B Jones.
Yes.
Could you say
Raising Canes?
B Jones? Can you say her name for me?
Micaiah White.
Hey, fellas, go check her out. She's 6'1", and she is a beast in volleyball.
You had to make that face?
And easy on the eyes, too.
That's why he was making that face.
I make the same face when I talk about you, too, Pam. She 5'11".
I'm 5'10" and 3/4.
You know what's funny, Pam? We actually mentioned you in this episode.
Did you?
We talk about you.
You talking about me playing volleyball? Or
No. Oh, hell no. Nah.
Damn, even Serge was like,
What's your height? Because you're a tall girl.
But it's been like 3 episodes like that. They've been like 5'8", 5'9", 6'1", and they all have the same rule as you, pretty much.
I mean, what you want us to do? Come on.
No,
tall girls band together.
No, one said she's 5'9",
5'8", or 5'8", yeah.
Yeah, he has to be 6'5". I'm like, good grief.
Dang.
But hey, if you go watch the show, you'll see why. You'll see what
she tough.
He is, and you'll see why.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out. All right, y'all, it's time for the kickoff question. So we talked about this briefly a couple weeks ago, and we didn't give it enough time, so we are back around with it. B. Jones rubbing his hands together, so this must be he's ready for this one.
I ain't realized we was recycling topics, so go ahead.
I mean, I'm just reading what the screen say. You know what I'm saying?
I'm messing with the fellas because we was in our own little thread. We was talking about doing this. I'm just giving them a hard time.
Wait a minute, y'all got your own thread? Oh, me and Katie. Katie and I will have to discuss that. Katie, text me, girl.
I wasn't part of that thread, Jimmy.
That's
Serge
okay.
wanted
Katie
to
and I
create
have
it.
our own thread.
Yeah, I did create it. Yeah.
Serge text message to us a year and a half ago.
That's all right, because me and Katie have our own thread too. So
Me and Katie got our own too.
That's not really a thread.
Hey, Kim said, "Wow."
Right, Katie. You see how they do it? Y'all
Yeah,
got your own thread?
the name for the thread is Just for the Fellas. So that's what.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have man stuff we got to talk about. We can't, in there we burp.
Okay,
You know
well,
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We scratch ourselves in that thread. We just
Let me tell you this. Y'all could have, when y'all was sending out those text messages at midnight Saturday night talking about boxing or MMA or whatever, y'all could have had that for the Just for the Fellas because I was trying to sleep. I had to mute y'all on that night.
Pam, they could have just had that for them too because I was sleeping.
I was like, why is my phone mute? Okay. But anyway, let me get back to
what?
good fight
back
though.
to the
Great fight though.
Great fight, yeah.
All right, so we didn't give it enough time. So give me your thoughts on the NBA play-in games. So B. Jones, I'm gonna go to you last.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I've been kind of bipolar on this subject.
Clearly.
She said she going to you last. You like forget that.
Oh, you want me to go last?
No, it's okay. You already started.
Yeah, you might as well go.
My bad. All right. Well, this is the thing. I think the NBA play-in game is great for us as fans, for those of us who are sitting at home and we need some form of entertainment. And originally, I was preaching this story about how the NBA is going to reduce load management by making the 6th and the 7th seed and the 8th seed, all of these seeds now they matter, right? Because it comes a point where we can't say it's unfair because the rules are simple. Be 6 and down, you cool. 7 and up, your life hangs in the balance of a couple of basketball games. But this is where I lose the play-in game as the validity of a fan. What are you playing 85 games for? Or in the case of this year, what are you playing 70 games for? If it's going to come down to a situation where a team who may have caught an injury at the wrong time or a team who got a player back at the right time can make a turn at the very end and win two big games, and their reward, although their reward is the number 1 seed in the division or in the conference, is still trash though. I think it reduces the value of the regular season. And then I actually contradicted myself the more I thought about this, because guess what? If I'm a LeBron James and I'm hurting, and we number 3 seed or we the number 2 seed, we could give 10 games and I can rest up, because I know for a fact that even if I give 10 games up, or I sit for 10 to 15 games, my team can still get into that 7th or the 8th seed, make it to the playoffs, and guess what? We still gonna be better than the number 2 team. We already see the Clippers dodging the Lakers already. So I'm just saying, I think it's a great, like I said, for the fans, for me, it's entertaining. As a true sports fan, it's suspect.
All right, Serge, what you got?
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same boat. I do like a component of having a playing game, obviously, because the only reason they're even doing it this year is because they had to do it last year, because not every team played the same amount of games prior to the bubble. And if you include the regular eight games that the bubble played, there was no way to have a fair chance for an 8 team to come in. So last year when they did it, they strictly did it for the 8 seed, and you also had to be within 4 games to actually, 9th seed had to be within 4 games of the 8th seed in order to have the playing game. So I think if they decided to keep 1 through 7 and only the 8 spot is actually a playing game, not having multiple games, just having 8 play 9, and if 9 and 10 maybe obviously are tied or something, and there's a tiebreaker, they can always figure it out. Because if you have same record, what was your record against each other? What was your road record, and then division record? You can figure out a tiebreaker if there's a 9 and 10 have a tie. But 8 plays 9, as long as there's a 4, they're within 4 games of each other, and then winner of that gets the 8 seed. But other than that, I just don't think it's really fair to the other 7 teams who fought and played 72 games, and then now we can have a random injury in the first quarter. Even if it's not an injury that's going to put me out for 2 months, you can put me out for a week, and the team that I'm playing catches fire and they beat us, and we get knocked out. I just don't know if that's really fair to to that team either. So that's my personal take on it.
Well, Serge, wait, let me correct you, because you got to change the vernacular. It is fair. It's 100% fair. The rules was established before the season. They didn't just come and make this rule up. So it's fair. It's just not. It doesn't preserve the integrity of the game.
Correct. No, I agree.
Coach?
B. Jones, yeah, even though that rule is fair to the 9th and 10th seed, it's not fair through 1 through 8.
It is fair, Kev, because they told you at the beginning of the year, if you in the 7th, 8th seed, you screwed.
They're trying to make the regular season relevant, but come on, man, basketball has been played 1 through 8, East and West, for how many years? So now you want to change it to try to get that like March Madness type feel? It's not going to work. These guys are going out there busting their butts, and like you said, hey, now I got to play in this extra game. That's another shot at me probably getting hurt, and then another team moving up in my spot. So no, it's good for the fans. Some fans, I'd rather just see 1 through 8 and let's go.
I mean, we all know it's all about money. I mean,
it's a money grab.
They feel like they're losing ratings and stuff like that. So by having multiple games, this is like last year, the NFL decided to add, an extra wild card team. Baseball also did it, So, and thus now the NFL has seen how that panned out, and it doesn't matter. Oh, let's go ahead and extend the season and add 1 more game and take off 1, preseason game, because that's the difference. It's because of the way the sport is developed. It's easy, like taking away 4, preseason games in the NBA way and adding on 4 more games in the regular season. It's not big of a deal. That's not the same impact that in football has, because every week really actually matters. So, I just think that it would, because I don't think the Clippers would have, tanked or not lost to the Rockets and the Thunder on purpose. Because the Lakers would have been the 7th seed. They wouldn't have had to play the Warriors tonight, and they would have been the 7th seed, and you already know what it is. And so
right.
I just think that other element, by adding it on, allowed them to basically say, like, ooh, let's make sure. Because I feel like not only were they dodging, the Lakers, I feel like they were also dodging the Blazers too. Because, the Blazers are one of the hottest teams in the league in the last 3 weeks. So, maybe they don't want that.
Well, I say this. Well, Chuck is absolutely right. And honestly, Chuck, I don't disagree with that philosophy. If I'm like I said, the NBA wins and the fans win, the only person that loses is the 6th, 7th, 8th. Those seeds are kind of screwed over. But the fact of the matter is that as a fan of the game, and y'all know me, I'm a football guy. So I'm kind of 1 foot in on NBA until we get to the playoffs. I want to see the Zion Williams and the Ja Morants and the LaMelo Ball. So if this is an opportunity to get them some playoff exposure, or to get them comfortable with America's household names and faces, because those are the future faces of the NBA, then this playoff game makes 100% sense. The only problem I have is, let's just say something freakish happens and 10 beats 9, and then they go on and beat the winner out of the 7 and 8, and now all of a sudden the 10th seed, who could have a sub 10, a sub 500 ball club, they make it against the number 1 seed, and now we see a team just totally get washed off. Because you could get hot and win 1 game, but can you get hot and literally beat a team in a 7-game series? 2 total different conversations.
Correct.
Yeah, and so my thoughts on the situation is that we're gonna move on to the Manhattan Project.
Hey, you was over there clamming. You ready, huh? You text your girlfriend like, girl, I'm finna tell him. You tell him, Kim, I'm finna tell him to stop right now.
Katie. Anyway, so on to the Manhattan Project. Y'all can have that conversation in y'all little boys chat, just the fellas. Y'all can continue that there.
My bad, guys. My bad.
Yeah, you snitch.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not in it. So
lies.
Jose Rose Cup is in that thread, not you.
Yeah.
All right. So if you missed a drink, go back because I don't remember what I said I put in here. But run that back.
Gemini.
Yeah, my Gemini. So when Katie gets back, she will have her own drink, but this is the Gemini. So did anybody get a chance to watch the last episode of Last Chance U? So we're gonna go ahead and talk about it.
Let's get it out the way.
So you might want to take your headphones off. So how did you guys feel about it? KT, you don't want to take your headphones off so you don't have to hear, so we don't give it away? I'll give you a thumbs up. All right. So how did you guys feel about it? I was thoroughly disappointed. We were so close, and it was so close, and then it just got snatched away.
Crushed. Yeah.
So
I'm gonna say this. For those of you who waited and rocked with us and watched this had to be a special moment for you. And now, don't get me wrong. I know a lot of people probably watched it and then probably watched it over again with us. This was a tremendous ride over the past 8 weeks. And I personally think that this has been one of my favorite sports life talk type of shows that we watched as a family, because as we come out the end of COVID, to take a look back at what transpired a year and a half ago, and not just to see the news stories,
pointless.
But we all kind of wondered last March, what were these teams thinking when they stopped that NBA game? What were those players thinking in the locker room? And when they called off all of these tournaments, how did it impact these players and these coaches? And we finally saw it firsthand, what it did to the mentality of these kids and how people were genuinely crushed. And it almost, to me, it gave me a breath of appreciation for what we went through over the last year and a half, because, you know, we've seen people argue and fight on the social media over wearing masks and doing the small things, but they had inaccurate information. They were like, yeah, it's this and this and all of this stuff. And they just didn't really know what to expect. And we see this literally transpire. They had to get off of the bus. I was heartbroken to see Joe, to see him finally have an emotional outpour of what it meant to him. I mean, it was beautiful television. I pray that every season of Last Chance U could be as good as this one, because that was phenomenal. I didn't get to watch all of the stories. I'm at Coach Mosley's after, where are they now kind of story, which is about 50 minutes into the episode. But if you rocked with us, you got a treat. You got a proverbial gem on this one. So
yeah, it was really crushing for me. Like, I was sitting there like, no. Like,
I know, but you knew it was coming though. You knew exactly what, man.
I didn't know it was coming.
I didn't know that
it was a part on the board. It said something about your senior petition. It was on the whiteboard. It had to be on by March 20th. And it started hitting me at that time. I was like, March 20th. They sent me home from my job like March 24th. So I was like, when my job sent me home, we were at critical mass. We was like, hey, don't touch nothing. Don't breathe on nobody. Right. People was freaking out. Toilet paper was all gone. Water was all gone. So it was mass hysteria. So I knew when I saw March 20th, that was right around the corner. I said, they finna shut this thing down.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that they did do like an after, like what happened after that. I won't spoil it for you, B. Jones, but make sure you watch that part. I'm glad Coach Mosley grew out a little beard. I will tell you that he was looking a little scruffy over there, but it was good to see what happened with some of them. So
yeah, I think just watching that, because I think when the stuff started happening last year and the tournaments started getting canceled, schools started getting canceled, obviously a lot of kids who are seniors, not being able to go to prom and things like that. I think but seeing it on the news and just hearing, it's a news coverage. It's not like,
that's right.
You're not talking to the kid. You're not seeing the emotions. You're not seeing that one day you're going to school and the next day, like, you don't know when you're going to see your classmates again. And,
That's right.
And not knowing that, it's not like, oh, we'll be, initially everybody's thinking like, oh, it'll be like a week. All right, 2 weeks, a month, wait, hold on, like a year? Like,
hey, Serge, do you remember the coach even said that? The coach said, yeah, they probably won't have a solution for this until May. That's what one of the coaches said when having a conversation about COVID.
Right, right, because everybody in the beginning was not really knowing. I think everybody you'd be naive to think that, like, when it first happened, you really weren't thinking it would last as long as it did, because most of us, if not all of us, have never been through something like that. What they would determine as it being through a pandemic, since we didn't have one for basically over 100 years. So unless you were living at that time, you don't know what that feels like, And so I think it just also makes you appreciate what you do have when you do have it. That's why, like, last year at this time, we weren't getting ready for the NBA playoffs. We should have been, but, so I'm going to appreciate more that the NBA playoffs are back this year, even though they had it last year in the bubble. It feels more like a regular, playoffs, because everybody's back in their home arenas. Most of the arenas will have fans. There's different storylines. So that's what I take away from even watching, a Last Chance U type of show, talking about, guys who are a lot younger who, just missed out on their opportunity, because it was like a buildup, and it's like they get really hot and they just come off this big win. They were down in the game, and Sean is over here in the bathroom throwing up. I mean, like,
yeah,
it's like, man, like, if I would have told you before that game that this was going to happen next week, they wouldn't have believed anybody, and then that's what happened. And so it's definitely pretty wild to see that.
I remember when COVID happened in March, I was like, oh, okay, this will be gone by the summer. I was buying clothes because I was going to have me a hot girl summer when the world opened back up. Y'all, I pulled up them same clothes from last summer that still had the tags on them. I was like, okay, well, maybe one summer I'll get to be cute. So.
Well, y'all know what's funny about that? When all that happened in the NBA, remember, we were recording at my house.
Sure was.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We were recording.
Sure were.
Yeah, it was on a Wednesday with the Jazz and Thunder game. It was like, whoa.
And matter of fact, we said something about it on air about how Rudy Gobert had how he had COVID. How they just announced that he was one of the players with it. Yep, I remember that like that was yesterday, man.
March 11th.
Crazy. So, all right, so other shows that we're going to check out next. Tell Me Your Secrets, maybe on Amazon Prime, and Mayor of Easttown on HBO. So we as a group will make a decision and decide what we are going to watch together.
Serge, let me text you and Kev offline what I think it should be.
I was just gonna say something like,
hey, don't text me.
Pam, we sorry. We just playing.
Jones is sorry.
Hey, 1 p.m., 1 a.m., it don't make a difference, right?
I cannot. All right, look. So it is time for another episode of Uncut Gems. So I keep getting these letters from our 54 million viewers.
Hey, you playing, but we getting them though. We starting to get them.
So this letter comes from a young lady in somewhere in Texas. I don't know. She didn't tell me. So she wanted to know, she is having an event and her mother invited someone to this event that she doesn't necessarily want to be at the event. How does she uninvite this person to the event?
Oh, it's a lot of questions in that one.
Yeah, you have that one, Kev. Who is the person that they don't want to show up?
A friends of the opposite sex.
Did they date at one time?
Uh-huh.
Where's the event located? Is it at the mom's house?
No.
Or is it a public facility?
It's a public facility, but the writer of the letter is paying for said event.
That's all you got to say. Cuz I'm paying for this.
Yeah.
Hey, that's the end of the discussion. If I'm paying for this event, you're not welcome. That's the end of it.
Yeah, but why would her mom invite your whoever's ex?
You mean
It's to the young lady in Texas. Why would her mother feel it's okay to invite her ex?
Because she's a chatty patty and it was being discussed. And she was like, "You're coming, right?" That's what the letter said. Now, she wrote all of this in the letter.
Yeah. All right. So how egregious was the sin against me as to why I don't want this person to come? How bad was that? Was it just me and this person don't get along, or did me and this person have words and they know I don't like them and I know they don't like me, so we ain't on speaking terms at all?
It has nothing to do with that. It is because it's for several reasons. The main reason is because there will be two other people there that and let me find the letter. Hold on, let me see what she said. Hold on. There will be two other people there that are from the past and at this event. And so we don't need a whole lot of.
Tell her she need to start learning how to bury her bones deeper. Tell her 6 feet deep.
Yeah.
Goodness, her bones coming up.
People still around.
Yeah. More
They're
people
within arm's length of each other, it feels like.
One. Let me see what she said. One happens to be the father of the child.
So what the other one?
She said, hold on. I gotta read the letter.
That's your grocery list.
I'm reading the letter she wrote. The other person was somebody who was in the child's life for a long time.
Man, whoever this is, they know. Hey, there ain't no advice we can give you. You just effed up, and you need to get, I don't know, cancel the event. How about that? Just cancel the event.
No, you can't cancel the event.
You already paid for it.
I'm gonna tell you this: you got to pick another ground to kind of do your stalking and hunting and praying, because you ain't gonna do nothing in that room that night. You might as well just get over that one.
Hold on. So the girl's mom is the one who invited this person.
Uh-huh.
So
your mom invited?
Is the one that told the girl that, hey, So the mom is the one who told the girl, like, hey, I ended up inviting this guy.
The girl was sitting right there when the mama did it.
Okay, so why can't the girl go back to the mom and be like, hey, like, I don't want that person there. So you're gonna have to, since you invited him, I need you to de-invite him.
Yeah, see, Serge, that's a black thing. You ain't gonna go back to mama and
you can't go tell mama.
You ain't telling mama nothing. Yeah, you ain't telling mama nothing.
Is there security at the venue where this is happening? I'm gonna give a picture and be like, this person cannot come into our party.
So I just need to know so I could tell this person. Oh wait, where the other letter go? Hold on, here you go. Here's the letter. I just need to know what to tell her. So does she uninvite or does she just let it ride?
I let it ride. Let it ride.
No, I'll call that person say, hey, I don't want you there. If we don't have a history, then why should it matter?
Okay,
because it's important to the child. Because
hold on, let's be clear. Let's just say that this girl also put in this letter that she hasn't met this other person's, none of their family. So she was wondering why this person would need to be around all of her family when she ain't even met none of that person's family. I mean, she put all this in the letter. I was like, girl, this is a lot of drama.
So B. Jones, you gotta remember one of the two other guys is the one that she has a son with, one of them, not the guy that the mom invited.
Yeah, right.
So no, I just say, I'll call you up. Hey man, please don't show up. You know, our history isn't good. You may still have a relationship with my mom, but that's not a relationship with me. Stay your ass at home.
Okay, all right. I'll let her know. Where my pen so I can write her back. I think I just sent her an email.
Yeah, just text her. You got a number? Get a number, text her.
No, she didn't write it on her letter. She wanted to be anonymous.
Did she write it with invisible ink too?
No.
Did she put it right next to cilantro on that list?
I hate y'all.
It
is time for Power Surge. We gonna move on. You know what?
There you go.
I'm gonna ask her for an update in the next couple of weeks. Okay, so
all right, yeah, I can't wait to get feedback on this one.
Yeah. Okay. All right, sir. Take it away.
Ooh, it's my favorite time of the year. It's my favorite time of the year. You know, it usually happens in middle of April, but this year, you know, because of the season when it started, the month later. But I'm okay with it. I'm just excited for the NBA playoffs to start. And with that being said, obviously every year when the playoffs come around, obviously we're going to do our pickings of who we think is going to win the championship and whatnot. But you know, I think because of the level of competition, obviously the way that the league is run, you know, superstars pretty much obviously run the league, which ultimately, you know, when we talk about, you know, GOATs, greatest of all times, and, you know, being in that categories and being in that conversation where, you know, you're either dogged on by, you know, shows and podcasts and, you know, all over television and social media, or you're getting praised because you did something, you know, that we're not accustomed to seeing, or, you know, you pulled off the upset because, you know, you're David and you were able to dethrone Goliath. So with that being said, I wanted to start off with an interesting, you know, different type of topic, which is, you know, which NBA star / superstar has the most to prove this upcoming playoffs, given all the circumstances of their career so far, their current team that they're on, where they're seated, what conference they're in, potential matchups they could face, and all of that, and then some. And so I've gotten Kevin Durant, James Harden, Damian Lillard, Giannis, Jokic, who probably win MVP, Kawhi and PG, obviously coming off of, you know, losing a 3-1 lead last year, Luka, Chris Paul, or someone else. So, KT, I'll probably go to you first. Who do you think has the most to prove and why?
I wanted to say James Harden at first, but now he's playing with Kevin Durant and Kyrie. So he won't be playing like no pressure. You know, in Houston it was all him. But I'm going to go Giannis. He's been an MVP. He's been the defensive player of the year. He doesn't have a team like the Nets has. He doesn't have an AD like LeBron has. And everybody's trying to crown him as one of the best players in the league. But when it comes to the playoffs, we know he comes up short all the time. I think he's 6'11". Yep. He comes up 6'2" in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I think Giannis has the most to prove. And KD, if anybody says KD, because he's pretty much built a super team, and we know that he can't win a team with him just being the main man, please don't say KD, but it's Giannis.
B. Jones?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with them boys out of LA and not the Lake Show. We saw a tremendous kind of debacle being up 3-1 on Jamal Murray and Jokic last year. That team fell apart. It was a horrible ending to the year. It was tragic. We heard all the postseason interviews with people blaming playoff P, and I still think Paul George is playing with that chip on his shoulder a little bit, and nobody really blamed Kawhi. But you got to remember, this was the team that at the end of the summer, before it was a Durant and Harden, we all talked about like, man, these dudes partnering up with each other. And to see them finish that first year the way it did was it was a historic debacle. And so I think they got something to prove. And to me, it's already starting on a tumultuous kind of path where it appears, I know somebody said they're not taking L's on purpose, but it appears in which they're trying to set themselves up for an easier path to the finals, which I honestly don't blame any team trying to work smarter, not harder, but it lacks courage. It lacks heart. You know, in the state of Louisiana, that's where you got to have chess. You know what I mean? And so I think we got to see something out of those Clippers, man. I need to see them take that next step.
Okay, I'm going to ask the same question to the both of you. So you said Giannis. So obviously he's on the Milwaukee Bucks. What is the bare minimum they would have to reach in order for you to say, like, okay, hey, he played outstanding, but, you know, he could play outstanding better than he's ever played in the playoffs, and they could still lose, obviously, because maybe some of the other guys didn't step up. So where do they need to go that you feel like, okay, you know what, I got to give them their dues, and it was okay for them to get knocked out or bounce out at this point? What is that level they need to reach? for you?
Game 7, Eastern Conference Finals.
So they need to at least get to Eastern Conference Finals and be in the series where they have a chance to legitimately win.
Because it's been like what, gentlemen sweeps they've been getting beat, or like maybe they won 2 games. So yeah,
they won 2 games 2 years ago against the Raptors against Kawhi. Then they lost 4 straight, and then last year they obviously lost to Miami in 5 games, and they're playing obviously Miami in the first round this year. So same thing with B. Jones. Where do the Clippers need to get to being the 4 seed? Playing the Mavs in the first round. Say if they get out of there, they may play the Jazz or the winner of the Jazz and probably the Warriors, I guess. Let's just say it's the Jazz. So that means they would play the Jazz in the second round. And I think most people would expect the Lakers being on the other side to probably come out on the other side. And even if it's not the Lakers, I guess where do they need to peak at for you to say, all right, is it just getting past the second round and making it to the conference finals and losing? Is that a bust or is that a failure, or making it in the championship and say losing to Brooklyn is like, hey, you know what? Those guys, at least next year, maybe they'll come back and win the whole.
It's tough for me to have any expectations for any team outside of Brooklyn to win the championship with that composition of talent that they've been able to amass. But the reality is that when that Clippers team came together from top to bottom, they had the best roster in the NBA. Now, I get that they lost Montrezl Harrell to the Lakers, but at the same point in time, they've gotten some players that came in, right?
Rondo,
and so, Rondo, they built this team to what will supposedly be the Laker killer, and all of a sudden, you can't get past the Nuggets, and the Lakers win it all, right? So, I think they have to get to the finals, a respectable showing against the Brooklyn Nets would make it kind of worthy. But if I'm a Clipper fan, if you look at the talent level, Paul George, in my opinion, I know y'all debate me on this show all the time about that he's a top 10, maybe top 12 talent. Kawhi's a top 3, top 4 talent. When you got those types of leagues in the league that's dominated by players, you just have to be able to win big games. You can't go over there and say, well, they got 3 monsters. Oh well, everybody going to have to play that team over there in Brooklyn and have 3 monsters. So I'm not going to let LeBron and Anthony Davis off the hook with that excuse neither.
Well, I want to say this. Zoe said Kyrie because he needs to get up underneath LeBron, but he's underneath KD now. When he
underneath KD now and Harden. Harden.
Listen, when he went to Boston, he tried to be the man. How did that work out for him? They got Kyrie. Better when he left.
Yeah, based off of obviously the way the talent and the team is set up, and not having proven anything in previous playoffs, especially, my pick is James Harden. I think he has the most to prove. He hasn't won a championship. Obviously, they came very close to beating the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals a couple of times, even with KD on the team. If it wasn't for Chris Paul's injury, maybe they would have won, maybe they wouldn't. But that doesn't mean that when they went to the finals, they would. But this is the time. You got the talent around you. You got KD. You got Kyrie. You got Joe Harris. You got Blake Griffin. You got a deep roster, and you're in the East. Everybody's, I think a lot of the Vegas odds have them winning the whole thing. So where James Harden always fails is in the playoffs. Now, he doesn't have to be, the main guy and carry the team because he's got Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. So if he doesn't play, 70% of what he normally does in the playoffs, they would lose, to me, because I think only playing 8 games together isn't a good way to show that you can probably try to win it, in your first year together. But I think James Harden has the most to prove because we've seen James fail a lot of times when he was with the Rockets in big playoff moments coming up short. And if he comes up short, Kevin Durant and Kyrie could play really good. Or if one of those guys don't play great and he doesn't step up, they could lose easily, whether that's in the second round to, say, Milwaukee or Miami, or in the Eastern Conference Finals to, say, even Philly. And then obviously in the finals, I think if they make it to the finals as the first year and with all the injuries and stuff, I would deem it as still a success for those guys. But if they don't make the finals, it would just be like the Clippers last year. It's a complete failure. You put a superstar team together, and if you can't win,
Serge, they have to win it all, Serge. They don't get a pass for making it to the finals and losing. That team we're talking about 4 Hall of Fame players on there. And yes, if you want to debate me, Blake Griffin will be a first or second ballot Hall of Famer. That we're talking about 4 Hall of Famers on one team. There's no excuse, sir.
And
I got you. Okay.
I want to say this about James Harden too. He's playing point guard. He really doesn't have much to prove because KD's gonna get buckets, Kyrie's gonna get buckets, and James he can just get it in spurts. So I don't see where he has to prove because he's not just a man. KD's the man on that team. James Harden can just fall back and play his role.
James Harden is going to get the same treatment I gave Kevin Durant for going to the Warriors and winning championships. I'm giving James Harden that same treatment by going and playing for the Nets because Kyrie and KD, they partnered up. That was fair and square. But you made an effort you demanded Houston to trade you out, and then you went and you told Houston that I want to go to Brooklyn, and you maneuvered that whole situation for you to go be on the All-Star team. He doesn't get any credit with me about getting the ring this year.
So let me tell y'all my opinion. We about to move on to the drop.
We saw that coming.
So who's dropping this new music this week? KT, you might as well go ahead since you're going to do the coach's groove.
Is it already on there? You can just put me out there bed. I just had my coaching. I don't even think I got my coaching groove. You just had me out there bed.
Oh, Lord. Okay, I'll do the new music then. All right, so dropping this week, we had Nicki Minaj come through with a little something since she had baby Roman or whatever his name is. Beam Me Up, Scotty. It's a re-release of an old mixtape, but there's 4 new songs. Y'all know I haven't heard any of it. Has any of y'all?
Hey, Seeing Green might be my song of the year.
Now,
It's fire.
If you like Nicki Minaj, you like it. Just
Man, you're gonna love this album if you like Nicki Minaj. I also just by listening to this album, I kind of got the feeling that her and Cardi B ain't on good terms. There were a lot of I don't know. I don't keep up with those types of feuds, but it was a lot of slick capping. Yeah, it was a lot of slick capping, and it was some undercover innuendos or slights thrown at Cardi B.
yeah, I think that's just for sales because they probably come out with a song together. So I think that's it. Yeah.
All right. So Kodak Black came out with something. Haitian Boy Black. Georgia Smith.
Yeah.
Be Right Back. Norel came out with a story about love. And last but not least, Y'all Boy came out with something. I ain't heard nothing yet.
Damn, you got to listen to the first track.
Yep.
It's going to give you 95 South.
95 South, yep.
You put that on.
It's rolling.
I am not a J. Cole fan.
Listen to
You don't have to be a J. Cole fan to still listen to that one song.
I don't, anytime if I'm working out, I don't care if I got the barbell right here, I'm gonna put it down and hit the next song. I do.
That's a lot of animosity.
Yeah. You make it sound like he Future or something.
Yeah, what did J. Cole do to you? That's what I want to know.
His first album was cool, and then after that, I was just like,
Nah, boy, he's spitting on this thing.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, when Miss Manhattan come back, I'm dropping a new top 5. We need to review our top 5s for the fans. When Miss Manhattan come back, we're gonna do that again because since last year, 18 months ago when we did it, my list has changed. So
all right, cool. All right, maybe I'll listen to it. Oh no, I doubt it.
Yeah, did J. Cole get you pregnant and leave you?
J. Cole is really Terrence's daddy.
Just listen to that one song. Just give it one listen.
95 South.
All right,
I like the 100 mil though. I like the 100 mil too. That whole
it's like 4 solid.
Yeah, it's bangers. Yeah, it's bangers.
All right, I'll try it. All right, so Coach's Groove. I hope you came up with something in that good old 3 minutes. What you got? Give me a body roll song.
Yeah, I already had some. I was just done.
What you got, Coach?
So this is a man. He doesn't get enough love for being a pioneer of the rap game.
Okay. You ain't gonna say Plies.
Cool Mo D.
Oh, heck no. No Cool Mo D.
Curtis Blow.
If you would let me finish, I want a girl with extensions in her hair. Bamboo.
I was gonna say LL Cool J.
A Fendi bag and a bad,
and a bad attitude. That's all it needs to get me in a good mood.
LL Cool J. Ladies love Cool James. Round the way girl. The coach.
That's what I was. Hold on. Do my part. Lisa, Angela,
Pamela, Renee.
Hey.
I need a roundaway girl.
Round the way girl.
The show just went completely off the rails right there.
No, we lost it when you start clapping your hands in anger at J. Cole. That miscombobulated me.
Oh, whatever. All right, so B. Jones, Oh shit! Here you go.
Well,
don't talk about these sneakers.
you get what you deserve, man. In honor of our guy J. Cole playing in the BAL right now over in Africa, he released the past shoes. He got a Dreamer collection sponsored by Puma, and Puma has now released a unit of the shoe called J. Cole RS Dreamer Prototypes. Now, supposedly, this is a pair of shoes that J. Cole had created when he was on Dreamville. They never had any intention of bringing it out, but J. Cole's been wearing them in public. It caused so much hysteria that they had to release it. Now, this is what's cool about this one particular shoe. They have announced that this is a one-time release. This colorway will never be brought out again. So if you don't if you don't grab it right now for a retail cost of $125, you may never have an opportunity to get a pair of these Dreamer Protos. And I think it's a cool shoe. I think it's one that at a price point of $125, I may cop this thing just as a collector. I didn't look into resales on this one because I don't think you buy a shoe like this for resale. But I have seen the on feet and I like them. So Kev, you take it down. I'll start with you, Serge. You copping or you dropping?
Ooh, I'm copping.
Boom, Pam. Even if they J. Cole, just take J. Cole name off the shoe. You saw the shoe.
I don't care if they were Drake shoes. Them things is ugly. They horrible, just like J. Cole. Next,
Coach KT, what you got?
I seen better shoes at Walmart, so hell no, I wouldn't get them.
Thank you. Those shoes are horrible.
Yes, sir. So we got to draw. First part, I need somebody in the comments. Somebody in the comments say something. Oh, there we go. KD, damn it, he broke the tie. There it is. It's a cop.
$100.
It's a cop. It's way $125. They $125. I like
it.
it.
200, I would have said no.
Yeah, 200. I probably wouldn't cop them either.
They should be 25. Those look like the shoes. I ain't trying to be funny. Those look like the shoes that when you ask your mama to buy you a good pair of sneakers, that's what your mama buy you, and she thought they was cute, and you didn't. You was like,
Zoe said, RS Dreamer sleeping on these.
Somebody said I thought these were Aces.
Yeah, those are terrible. If you buy those,
I'm gonna grab them. When you see them on my feet, don't be jelly, man.
No,
I'm gonna say, what are those?
Yeah, it must not have just 120 to throw around like that because ain't no way in hell.
Hey, Serge, we gonna get us a pair, man. Boo on them.
I bet you Serge won't buy a pair. I bet you he won't.
Whatever. All right, so it's time for the OT, y'all. So quickly, we're gonna go around. What is more exciting, a no-hitter or a game with tons of home runs?
I'm gonna say a no-hitter because the no-hitter is very fragile. We see games with a lot of home runs all the time, and they was juicing the ball. Now we're in this era where strikeouts are king, and I think a no-hitter is so fragile. All it takes is one person on the field to make a mistake. I'm gonna go with the no-hitter. It's rare. The intensity is crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the no-hitter too. The home run thing is like that means both teams are hitting home runs, and yeah, probably not.
All right, KT.
I'm going with tons of home runs. Y'all know chicks love the long ball. Stop playing. Well, everybody knows that old commercial. Whatever, Pam. You could
have kept that in the Just Fellas chat.
No, that commercial, the MLB promoted that chicks love the long ball.
I don't want long balls.
Whoa. Yay. Hello. Milagro. Kick ding, 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 ding.
Can you go boop on that one on the YouTube channel?
Reposado.
That's coming out her check.
Pamela
when I turn to say $5 fine.
Yep, we got it.
Gemarita.
All right. So is it embarrassing for rookies in pro sports to be stuck to
starstruck?
B. Jones, what's the question?
Starstruck.
Is it embarrassing for rookies in pro sports to be starstruck by their all-pro teammates? I mean, how do y'all feel being around me? Are y'all starstruck or not?
Well, this is how this happened. So there's a video that just went viral of Texas A&M rookie Bobby Brown shows up at the Los Angeles Rams practice, and he finally sees Aaron Donald. And you got to remember, Aaron Donald been in the league for like 6-7 years. This dude was in high school when he started watching Aaron Donald. He tried to do everything to emulate Aaron Donald, and so now he get the opportunity to play on the same team, and he kind of melted like a little girl. But at the same point in time, I mean, that's a once in a lifetime opportunity. I mean, he has to kind of soak that in. So I'm like, is that embarrassing for him, or should we celebrate that? But at the same time, I think like, dog, you work hard to get here. That man put his pants on the same way you do. If you getting starstruck by Aaron Donald, then guess what? In week 3, you got to play against JJ Watt. I mean, you got to play against some of the other better players. Are you going to be ashamed to tackle Russell Wilson? I mean, you can't. I don't know if you could get that caught up in these players when you get to that level.
I mean, it's probably the person that we looked up to, though. If it's somebody,
that's why. I think it was because it was his favorite player. Yeah, and I think everybody has that moment. You know what I mean? Like where they get starstruck, and a lot of it is behind the scenes. You don't even get to see it, like how their initial reaction once you see, who they're, whether it's a teammate or an opponent. So. No, I think it should be celebrated because it's okay to show raw emotion, when something is happening for the first time. Because you know what, he could get out on the field, he could have one bad injury, and he'll never be playing.
That's facts. It is a game. It is a game.
You know what I mean? Like that one moment may change his life, even if something negatively happens to him. So
come on, let's do one more, Pam.
All right. What underdog team are we rooting for in the NBA playoffs?
Underdog team. And everybody's sleeping on the Miami Heat, man. That's what I'm going with. Everybody's sleeping on the Miami
Heat. KT?
I'm going to Dallas Mavericks.
Ooh.
I'm in a draw right now between the Knicks and the Suns, and I think I'm gonna go Knicks. Yeah. I'm gonna go Knicks. I'm rooting for the Knicks.
Okay. I do have one more question. Kentucky Derby winning horse Medina Spirit has tested positive for anti-inflammatory.
He was sick.
So are horses considered athletes?
Yes.
No.
100%.
Of course. Of course. So you never heard of a talking horse?
Unless it's the famous talking.
That's why you left that question on there, because you couldn't wait to say that.
No, that just came to my head. No, a horse is a damn horse. That's just like saying a dog is an athlete.
But the horse is doing all the work.
The horse.
Come on now.
The horse is doing the work.
Have you seen the muscular density on the horse?
Have you seen a pit bull?
Yeah.
He ain't an athlete. He ain't an athlete. Stop it.
Dogs are, they have dog competitions, but the dog competitions aren't for the same things. And horse racing, there's the Preakness, the Kentucky Derby, and a couple other big ones that are significant and have been going on for years and years and years. And it's all about the horse.
Hey, Bo is an athlete.
The horse is an athlete.
Felix is an athlete.
So B Jones, in this respect of time, because man.
This is gonna be a quick one. Great story. Came out in the article earlier this week. Diagnosed with testicular cancer that spread from his lungs, from his testicles all the way up to his lungs during his senior year of high school. 3-sport athlete Nolan Cooney was basically in a bad situation. He had to go to chemo treatment for two months while in high school. He was able to do that. But what makes this story Yeet worthy, and while we're talking about it, is while in remission, while going through the therapy, he started picking up punting videos. The kid taught himself how to punt, went on to, as you probably guessed by now, walked on onto Syracuse University, where other NFL punters were. He sat and waited, got the opportunity to become a punter for the team, started, and led the FBS in punts, yards, 24 touchbacks, 24 downed inside the 20, and only 3 touchbacks. And then what makes this super Yeet worthy is now he is the punter for the New Orleans Saints, as New Orleans has retired Thomas Morstead. So the guy who had never punted before, he was a 3-sport athlete that included football, basketball, and baseball, taught himself how to punt after going through cancer and reinvented himself, and now he's an NFL punter. So you, sir, for sticking through it, being tenacious, and just going through all kind of hell and still showing up on the other sides, that is exemplary, and you, sir, deserve a yeet.
All right, so it is a 2-minute warning. We got to get up out of here, y'all. So let's do some last-minute shout-outs. Oh, also, SLT fans, join me and KD for the Dallas Cowboys versus Saints game in New Orleans, December 5th. Y'all,
is it official?
It's official.
It's been official.
It's official. And you guys, y'all, with y'all just fellas little group chat. Y'all going on to Houston and watch that game on the 5th. Y'all have fun or whatever. But KD and I, we're going to be sitting around in New Orleans. Hey. Y'all join us. All right. So 2-minute warning. Shout outs. B Jones, who you got?
Well, we were going to talk about this in OT, but we ran a little short, so I will shout her out. Nina King was announced as the next AD for Duke. This is the third Black woman to be a athletic director in a Power 5 conference, but this is actually Duke's first woman AD, and she just so happened to be an African American woman. It's been a tremendous movement. We're seeing African American women accomplish all kind of cool things nationwide, and this is just another part of the story. And then I also want to send a shout out. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta pump You Got Next because these shows are getting better and better. We got one coming with this artist called Day One. Just watch the show. It is a surprise enough for you that you are going to you go trip out. It's a great one. That's all I got.
All right, sir.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. 1-0 shout out. Shout out to the class of 21. My daughter, she's graduating this Saturday morning at 8:00 in the morning. But hey, this is not just for her. She's a special to me, but everybody out there knows some graduates. So shout out to the graduating class of 2021, whether it's college, high school, even if you graduate from kindergarten.
Yes.
Let's celebrate these babies.
Like this in the business.
Congratulations.
All right, Serge, who you got?
I'm giving a shout out to Mr. Babyface Assassin, Steph Curry, for winning the scoring title in the NBA, averaging 32 points a game. So shout out to him and all those doubters.
All right. KT?
All right, I really don't have one this week, so Pam, I want to give you more time to give a shout out to T.
What I'm shouting him out for?
Didn't he about to graduate?
No, I still have 2 weeks.
Well, that's it. I try to be nice to y'all. That's how you treat it.
Wait,
KT, you should give yourself a shout out for being nice.
No,
yes.
I'm done. I'm
shout
done.
out. I do want to give a shout out because tomorrow we go to North Carolina for the prep school. So I'll have to keep y'all posted on how that goes. I spoke to the coach today and all is well. All is good. I'm excited. So shout out to Mom for making things happen. That was
Kate. Hey, Pam, we need to send that tape to Fresno State. We got a coach that we could get some immediate publicity on that video.
Oh, okay, we'll do that. You free reign. You got free reign. And shout out to my girl KD. She is handling business as usual. She will be out this week, clearly, and next week, and then I will be out a couple weeks after that. So you guys will have to.
Hey, we got something special for y'all though.
Y'all gonna discuss that in the Just Fellas group chat?
No, we put that in the thread with everybody.
All right,
Okay,
y'all. So thank y'all for joining us again this week. Make sure you tell a friend to check us out. Even if they don't check us out live, they can always go to YouTube and Facebook and listen to our shows. Check out our You Got Next series and see who's coming up next. You never know. You might find a little hidden gem in there. All right. Shout out to everybody.
Ooh.
Thank y'all for listening.
Yeet.
Lil' baby say I'm fly, she see me. I know I got a giant in the drip, but I double cause I'm tired of the vibe, she clingy. And I don't play around with the wrist, when I get it, you already know the vibe, it's VVs. I swear I feel alive when I'm in the yo into the air, making vibes on repeat. And I ain't gotta lie, you see these. She said she wanna vibe, she need 3. Each one for my boys, my teamies. Swimming through the riches with my squad, believe me. Iced out Audemars, Philippi's. Big dog since a gin, know I'm 8. Cook and let them know I'm different raw with the 8. Do this for my sons, I know it's mine for the taking. Lil' baby, look like she the type that be playing. Slide and I skate this. She done me probably thinking who this. Yeah, money now it's funny how I see the mood switch. But boy, lame girl, funny how the two mix. So I got them uptight, now they got the loose lips. Want the doors with a suicide on it. If I'm winning, gotta put my slimes on it. I ain't buying in the Gucci or Prada. That she my man and it's